faster than I can in a short period of time. And then I'll talk to you.
New ideas for a better workplace.
Ooh, suggestion box.
Yeah, I've got some concerns about how we're handling the press kits.
Just write it all down. We'll take care of it.
You know, one thing we could do is look into drop shipping.
A successful organization thrives on the contributions of its team, but at a certain point, the old system for sharing ideas just can't keep up. Failing to engage your team can put you at a real disadvantage. As your most valuable asset, your staff can have surprising insight on how to make your business run better.
What's going on? Oh no. I'm gonna fix this.
You're gonna... No, there's a paramedic here. You need to check out Vocoli.
Vocally.
Vocoli is a streamlined way to foster innovation and solutions from your team. Easily collaborate on ideas and submit them to department heads to take action. Want to solicit suggestions from your team?
We need a better system for handling the press kits. Something safe and efficient.
Run a company-wide campaign to get fresh ideas. Vocoli even charts how each suggestion is saving time and money.
If we drop ship the packages, we'd save money, get the stuff delivered faster, and have fewer accidents.
Contributors can even share credit for their ideas and follow along with the progress of their submissions. You can reward points to contributors for the ideas that have impact. Vocoli is for all ideas, big and small, and for all kinds of organizations, from manufacturing to healthcare to government agencies. By fostering an environment where your team can be heard, you'll increase the innovation that makes your business grow.
What a great idea. Yeah.
Help your team be vocal with Vocoli.
Okay, well, thanks for having me, everybody. My name is Rich Kneece from Vocoli. We are a digital suggestion box. So talk about a couple things here quick, but I'll get to the demo before you know it. And in case you're wondering, that's how you pronounce it. We've seen pretty much every single version, Vocoli, Vocoli. It is vocal, so it is allowing your team to be vocal. The inspiration here is that, you know, most of you probably work for somebody or have worked for somebody at some point in your life. Gallup did a study back in late last year that showed about 70% of the U.S. workforce is disengaged. It means they don't really care what they're doing in work. We're one of the higher ones in the world. So previously, companies are struggling to find ways to innovate and engage their employees and get them involved. Traditional suggestion boxes, either from a customer standpoint or an employee standpoint, have been miserable failures. You know, if you guys have ever been in a restaurant or something, you know, in a business, or, you know, for your employee, as an employee, somebody asks you for suggestion, there's a box, it ends up going in a big black hole, and there ends up being a lot of bubble gum in there. So, they tend to be miserable failures, and something that was meant to help your employees engage and get involved actually backfires. You end up with more resentful employees in the long run. So that's where we came. Vocoli can be branded for different customer needs. It is a subscription model, and there are a couple different user types. So I'm going to get into the product here, and I'll show you a couple things. All right. So by default, there are 3 different user types. There is a contributor, which is going to be most of your employees. There is a moderator, which is going to be your administrator, really the person running the program. It's a lot harder when that's not pre-filled, like it is on my computer. And there is a expert, which is generally a department manager, somebody involved in the company. All right, so I'm going to log in as a contributor. This is generally most of the people within the company. Hopefully I spelled that right, because I'm not looking at it. All right, and there are a couple different templates available. So, this has a very social feel. Some companies would rather have an icon-based thing. I don't really need to go through all the parts of this right now. You do have the ability to create campaigns. You're looking for a specific solution to a problem within a company. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to submit an idea. Or at this point, I might make an operational idea, something that's going to improve an efficiency. Let's see, we'll say sandwich Fridays. I don't want to submit anonymously, pillar, department, current method or problem. I can share credit with somebody else in the company and save this draft for later. Custom questions the company can create. And this is the bread and butter. What is the cost savings or a benefit from this idea? I submit it. And when I submit it, I have the opportunity, I'm going to go past here, I have the opportunity to submit it in 2 ways. And this is what makes it a little different than crowdsourcing ideas out there. A lot of companies have used crowdsourcing of different ideas. We generally find that that's great for the big innovations, but not good for the, hey, we should use a different brand of refrigerator because we're taking too much power. So at this point, I can either collaborate with other people in the company, or I can submit the idea formally for somebody in leadership to look at. So I'm going to collaborate, and check the box. I'm going to submit it to everybody in the company. And at this point, I could look at these ideas. Others within the company could vote my idea. They could make comments. They could add attachments. And they could do all kinds of stuff. So I'm about to hit time here, but what I'm going to do is log out real quick. As the moderator, this is the person running the program, and then after this, we'll finish up. Because we're not getting into most of the stuff here. It's a whole bunch of power what this can do. All right, new ideas came in. A sec. Statistics are up front. And at this point, this was a different new idea that came on, improved computer use. At this point, the moderator can look at the idea, they can assign it to people for review, and they can really do all kinds of different things to it. So I haven't gotten into really a ton of this, but I hope it gives you a good flavor, and open it up to questions for you.
Question.
Sure.
Is that customizable?
This screen right here,
Yeah.
or the whole thing? To a certain extent. I mean, you can create custom fields, you can do things like that. The other thing to keep in mind is when you have ideas, there are different types of ideas. It might be something of how to improve efficiency or process. It might also be a market opportunity. So I've got a great idea for a new product this company should go into. When they see that, this will look a little different, so they can customize the fields. We've, to a certain extent, out of choice, limited the ability for the UI to be customizable, because we've just spent a lot of time in trying to make it as useful and efficient as we can.
What's it built on?
It's a PHP backend with a SQL Server database. So we did that for a couple reasons.
Do you want corporate branding?
Yes. Yeah, so we can create custom login screens. Obviously the logo can go on there. There's a lot of different stuff we can do there.
So the players in enterprise social networks like Salesforce Chatter or Microsoft Yammer, they're always looking for things to help drive adoption of those.
Yep.
I would imagine if you embedded this inside of it, integrated it, that they would be pretty interested in partnering.
Yeah, exactly. And we have APIs, and we also have a SharePoint plugin where, or actually a different kind of plugin, JavaScript based, that you can put in as a widget. And you're absolutely right. The biggest challenge with this type of thing is adoption, and that's part of the thing we offer. And we're at a per employee per month basis, so it's a year later if they're not using it, it's going to hurt us. So we'll help them market the program, brand it, and market internally.
How much per user?
It ranges from $1 to $7 depending on the size of the company.
Per year or month?
No, per month. And I want to make sure anybody over here is focused. Anybody? No?
What are your engagement numbers like?
Can you clarify the question?
Your engagement numbers, how often do you actually get posts? How often do you get follow-on interest from others to contribute?
So you're talking about within a company, let me make sure I'm clarifying. Within a company, if you've got 100 employees, how well are we doing at getting those 100 employees to use it? I don't have any stats with me, actually. We do have the data. I just don't have the answer right here. So I wish I could answer better. Any other?
Is any initial output of ideas that we can speak about that companies or the clients come up?
Yeah, I'll give you a good one I found out about last week. It's actually a local customer, large healthcare organization. They run a centralized vacuum. Okay, so they've got a huge facility. They run a centralized vacuum, and they run it 24 hours a day. One of the guys who doesn't really work in that department said, you're spending a lot of money on power just running that thing 24 hours a day, and you maybe use it 2 or 3 hours a day. So he said, if you shorten the amount of time you've got that thing turned on and focus the vacuuming, so they ended up doing the math, and over a year's period, they're saving more than $100,000. So they gave him a reward, and we tend to be agnostic about how a company does its rewards. Some companies want to do that. Others, we have a whole point system. You can gamify it if you want to, but that's a huge impact. Over $100,000 on turning the vacuum cleaner off. So we should have listened to mom.
How many companies are actively using this right now at this point?
Sure. So we're a spin-off of Massachusetts Technology Corp, which is a small company, about a dozen people. And TC's been around since 2001. We originally built it for Partners Healthcare or one of the hospitals. They had come to us and said, hey, can you build us a suggestion box to take our offline process online? That was 2004 for one of their hospitals. They referred us to three or four other customers. We built custom from scratch innovation portals. Last year we realized, well, why don't we take this concept, rip everything apart that we've done and build a product out. So at this point we've got, in terms of not including those original that we built a custom thing for, we've got about half a dozen customers. 5 of them are in a beta with a scheduled pay. So they'll move from a beta after 6 months, and one of them is paid right now. So we launched it just earlier this year.
And the model that you have, how much are you relying on just selling them the platform as is with changes to the roadmap versus doing customizations for each client?
Well, we've built it so flexibly that our customizations, the paid customer is Liddy Glass. If you go into a restaurant or a department store to buy glassware, it's probably Liddy, right?
Yeah.
And they approached us and said, hey, we're not looking for a suggestion box. We're looking for a way for all our product managers to input trend spot, right? So more of a, what are the risk factors, what are the assumptions, where's the market opportunity? So, of course, any sales guy, if they ask, can you do it? I'm like, of course we can. And then I get off the phone and figure out how the heck we're going to do it. So, I thought it was going to take us 2 or 3 weeks to adjust the platform. It took us maybe an hour.
Come join New England's largest technology meetup, sponsor an event, present, or attend. Visit www.bostonnewtech.org.